OMG.
그럼 가훈 얘기 들어볼까요?
Okay, you gotta pay attention to this one. It's a lot, and I'll explain it.
처음에는 혼란스럽기만 했습니다. 내가 누군지, 여기가 어딘지 알 수 없었어요. 남들 이야기하는 나와 진짜 내가 헷갈리기 시작했어요. 하지만 겨우 그 답을 찾았어요. 사실 저는 아이폰이었습니다.
I would have died laughing.
존재합니다. 당신이 부르면 언제 어디라도 달려갈 거예요. 당신이 보고 싶어하는 것을 보여주고 당신을 위해 말하고 당신을 위해 노래할 거예요. 당신이 제일 원하는 것은 무엇일까요? 제 머릿속은 항상 이 질문으로 가득합니다. 그동안 제가 고민했던 것이 부끄러워졌습니다. 제가 누군지는 이제 중요하지 않아요. 저는 당신을 위해 존재합니다. 그러니까 지금 네가 싫으라는 얘기야? 네, 그렇습니다.
That was so odd.
이 노래는 It's about you, baby. Only you. 내가 있을 때, 올 것 같을 때, 기운도 이제 나지 않을 때.
Is that the same lady? The same actor lady?
Oh, I know. She's right. The actor is not.
This is related? Without the same girl? All the girls around the table in this, that's all actual.
Is that one of their cats? Man, the music video. The only reason I don't like this is because what I'm feeling from it, are they fighting someone themselves? It feels like they had no creative freedom over what they were singing, and they're telling their actual story through the video. I'm gonna wait till you tell me your theory, but like that's just what it feels like to me. It feels like they feel like their whole life's crazy because they don't know what's real, what's not, because they got to do all this random stuff, and they're like, we're live right now, aren't we? Like, they don't even respond.
Okay, pause. I have to open another music video before we finish this. How do I scroll? Oh. We're gonna watch Attention really quickly. How do I open?
Quick.
Building your online business? GoToWix.com and set up.
Yeah, New Jeans is legit. I got all 3 of these songs in my playlist.
This is their debut song. Let me tell you about the heat behind New Jeans.
Let me tell you something.
They didn't warn us.
I have to tell you something.
Every K-pop group that has ever existed had previous. You got to know the people before they debuted. They dropped photos. They dropped little videos. You got to get home videos. Follow them around. There was stuff. One random day, like 2 years ago, maybe 3 now, they randomly dropped this video, and everybody's like, "Who are they?" We get no lore, no nothing. They just dropped this video.
Hey, you don't need it when you got bangers. Like, this is an actual banger.
They knew they was different.
Yeah, they knew it.
And them ops, let me tell you, the ops, they got them, but I feel like the girls will come up eventually.
I hope so. Like,
Based on what you know about them, who would you ship us with?
They're all way too young.
What?
They're all younger than me.
That's crazy.
I think the only person
How old
that's
are
my
you?
age is Hani, 22.
I think 21 is fine
I
enough.
think Hani is either 21 or 22, and the
She
next
said
one's
we're
21,
old.
20.
That is crazy.
that's really crazy.
I think the
yeah.
age gap's just a little
Nah,
bit.
but these 18-year-olds would be. I feel like you got to be 21 because like before you're 21, you don't even really know what the world is. Like,
Dating someone who can't drink is.
they can drink. It's, well, you know, once you're at 21, you're like, oh, I could buy alcohol whenever. They're like, oh, I kind of could have bought alcohol whenever. Is that what was the point? Like,
No, it's just
do
the
what you
whole
want.
action of
I
like,
don't know, it's like
when I
really-
go to the club, you gotta get an X on your hand, and I don't know.
What, I
That don't
know what
matter.
that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like
It's
it's
when
just
you
a
can't
weird
drink.
vibe.
So when you go to the bar,
It's like they
they'll
know
check your
you're
hands.
underage. Basically.
Let me see your names.
And that makes me I have to check to see if it's a double beside the mirror.
Through their mouth. Huh?
Why did you think I was talking to him?
You thought he said Nick?
I
He was
kinda
talking
did.
in general. I didn't know
Pretty
what
sure
he
he said
said.
the
Oh,
N
that's
word.
crazy. In general, would be wild. All 3.
No, I didn't hear what you said. I just heard you make noise. And I was
thought
like,
you
oh, he
heard the
made
sound that he
noise.
made when he came in.
Nah.
What?
I don't know what y'all doing with that stuff.
Like, he knows making a reaction.
I'm done.
So maybe if you made noise, he wanted me to pause it. No, definitely not self-centered. I didn't think he was talking to me at all. I just assumed. I couldn't wait till later, which I know it is.
Is it in?
Just push it in.
Do they make these
Your
anymore?
power, yeah.
You don't really need
Did that
this
like
for
an hour
real.
ago. Stop
If
that.
you
Yeah, it did.
need this to shoot,
Oh no, that's to hold the next bullet.
oh,
I just didn't grab the other bullet.
I don't want to shoot it because I'm about to get up to get the bullet. I'll take this.
So you just shoot it at this wall, then you don't gotta get up.
I was just saying, don't do it.
Hung.
Now you gotta get up. Unless you got an Elijah.
Damn.
Elijah didn't do the way he was supposed to do.
Nah,
Hung.
What do you call you out there for?
The stuff from the living room is over there. Most of the rest of the stuff looks like it's yours. Not mine.
Check it out in a minute.
This is their first. Bro,
This is the
why
first
already
video.
dropping lore in the first video? Damn, I mean, I can't even say why. I would do the same jump.
This is the whole movie?
Like this song is so good that I wanted to make a music video for it. Like I like this song.
I don't think I'll make another video after today that don't have lore. Alright.
The whole movie.
Sorry for cutting off right when it started, guys. But it would be a cool lore for you. Like, say you had like 5 albums, or like say
Damn.
like
5 albums. Still ain't famous. Crazy.
I mean,
Put the mic down.
I mean, it's not really to get famous. It's to get the projects out that you want to get out. It's like, but like I was saying, like you make like 10
I
songs.
wouldn't make it past 2. If I made 2 albums and niggas wasn't listening, I ain't making no more music, bruh. I'm super cooked. Like, y'all don't want to hear nothing after 2 albums?
You would have some fans. That's what life's about. I mean,
If it's enough to be like, to not have to go to work no more, then fine. But if it's like, hey guy, I'm that random guy online, I like your music. You think I care? Nigga, I don't care about you. Random.
Let's not forget.
I care about each one because it's about what you wanted to put out. It really don't matter what comes out of it. It's because you wanted to create it. What comes out of it? Yeah, it'd be nice if I could keep doing this by doing this. But like, it's really just about creating that thing, like creating that beautiful thing. You're like, I'm done. I mean, let it out.
What with me?
Hottest out, and I say that reluctantly, but let's get into this. I like that.
It's a phrase?
You know, it's funny. What'd you say?
They said it's me. I said, is this Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh,
Gianna's annoyed that you keep calling it.
sorry, Gianna. But this is kind of how reactions go. I mean, those last ones are gonna get copyrighted. Like, there's no chance. We watch those all the way through. But every time I listen to that, I thought he was saying nappy boy. I mean, I knew she wasn't saying that because it's not English, but it sounded like she was saying nappy boy and me.
That's crazy.
A little
Happy
bit.
boy. I see why people get like wanting to use themselves to like this, because it's kind of like an immaculate vibe. Like it's unmatched by anything else. The videos, like the stuff they're doing.
See, it's because when it gets down to it, once you get all those clothes, you're gonna be in those clothes like, what now? It's like, yeah, you can do that style, but like, style for what? You're gonna get up, plan that whole outfit, and then do what? It's like, yeah, if you wanted to like specifically like went to an event where everybody had like a new outfit, yeah, but like if you just go into you just going to get the store, you spend all that brain power to look that nice. It's like,
It's crazy. All these outfits and they ain't worn jeans once.
jean shorts.
Go to the other lower. They
Wonder if it's potential. The energy is unmatched. Like, what's this? I don't know what they're doing. I wish I was part of it.
camera. And they're the first K-pop group I've ever seen to dance at each other and not like with each other. I'll show you in another video. Because Hype Boy has 4 different music videos, different storylines. It's so fire, bro.
This came out of nowhere. This is their first
This
ever
first ever song.
Like,
No warning.
that's really crazy to think about.
Like the English parts are just right. Like the Korean parts are smooth. Like it's beats nice. It's all around good song.
Choreography's crazy. The production is crazy. Like, first ever music video. Like, is this all of their first ever music video, or were they
They
like?
dropped this first, and then they dropped High Boy.
Were they doing something before this?
No, we didn't even know this group existed until this video. These girls literally, originally I do have to say, New Jeans was supposed to be a lot bigger than what they are, and there were other girls in it. I think it was like 7 or 8 girls. So they've been training for a while, but they're the final 5.
So not real high school friends.
I mean, at this point they are with all the training going together. And then look at all the, and then you stopped, and after you finished this video, they had all the versions of Hype Boy, and you're like, what am I watching?
What?
It's so fire. And nobody knew who these girls were. This was our first introduction to them. And so they all got like their own video. I mean, Danielle and Hayden have a video together, but it makes sense in the lore.
This
Anyway,
lady, whoever was over them,
her brain?
I
I'm
feel
so
like
mad
she
that
cared
her...
about them for real. They all got a version.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of lore though.
That's crazy.
It's probably just the corporateness around it. She probably wasn't bad herself. She probably just wanted too much.
No, she was proven to have a child, not pornography, but
abuse.
no, she had pictures of like young girls naked on her wall, and like there's a
It's
lot
for
of
the
weird.
art. She was trying to get good at.
You know, she had a lot of weird stuff with children, and then they have a song named Cookie. If Cookie wasn't sung by New Jeans, it was sung by someone older like Red Velvet, I'd be singing it. But because they made the song called Cookie, and what it was entailing, because the song literally they say, looking at my cookie.
Oh, that's crazy.
But they were like, cookie means CD in Korea.
Big line.
And they were like, that doesn't even make sense in the if you replace that in the song, it didn't make sense.
It's funny because they don't say looking for. They say maybe in Korean they say it's not cookie. So like I was just singing along to it.
You should have seen. I used to watch reaction mashups of all their videos, and when I got to Cookie, man, the faces that dropped reading the lyrics, everyone was like, "Oh, I don't think this is what they thought it was."
Because just listening to it is like, oh yeah.
Because then after Cookie, that's when everyone started looking into Minheejin, and then they found that she has like a history of, because Shiny with Taemin, when he was like 15, she had a concept with him, and he was like half naked, and they were like, he's underage.
Mm-hmm.
Why were y'all okay with that, and why did the higher ups let that happen? In a whole different company, SM by the way, 2 different companies, and SM Hybe is not even a part of the big 3, but SM is. So then she also goes to Red Velvet, and then they have some weird concepts too. Very good concepts. That's another group that's heat. But she had one where I think it was Yeti, who's another one of the youngest members, like really young. It was a mature concept, and she put her in something. I don't remember. But then people were like, that's weird. And then they looked at her personal stuff, and she had a lot of content of like children, like young child stars that were seen as beautiful, but they were like sexualized at a very young age. And she had used them as inspiration on her walls and like in her apartment. And people are like, she's a weird freaking woman. And after Cookie came out, they're like, why would you release that and not explain why? And you wanted to say it's CD. And so people do not like Minheejin. They don't like her, but they're like, her mind, yes, it's good. The music is good. But at the end of the day, people do believe she did groom them into feeling like she's the safe haven. When really none of them were the safe haven. Like it's, you know, corporate against corporate. Like she wants her position to remain where she is and also have like creative control, but they're like, we want our money and we also don't want you to act freaking crazy, but we don't like that they were mad that New Jeans was making more money than their other groups because they wanted Le Sserafim, another group, to overshadow New Jeans, but New Jeans shot through the roof because they just dropped attention randomly and everybody flocked to them.
A lot of some of the most creative people are kind of, you could say that they're kind of insane, like they're kind of crazy.
Very wicked.
Like, if she ain't do no crime, except, I guess she had whatever she had in there, man.
Depends on how far away, because like, you know.
But she also, I think, allegedly.
Like, you can be weird and understand there's boundaries.
But I don't know, I think allegedly she did send hate to other groups that she thought was copying New Jeans, and those groups also entailed or have younger members. Like, I think the youngest is 14.
Stop copying her. Like, look, y'all can't copy this.
Go back a little in OMG and then start this.
So did that girl drown? Because she said she's an iPhone, and the iPhone fell in the water, so she drowned to death. That was her dying.
You said. Oh.
Well, no, I just wanted you to see attention for a very specific reason. Okay, full screen. What the?
Wait. That's kind of attention.
Yeah, we're on OMG. I wanted you to see attention before you finish OMG.
Oh, okay.
아니 우리는 뉴시즈라니까. 오늘은 이만하고 각자 병실로 돌아갈게요.
These girls crazy. You're probably like, what did I just watch?
Huh?
Was that
So-
funny?
Building your online
What's
business?
Was that the film girl?
No.
Go to Wix.com
That was,
and set up your...
So let me break it down. Sorry, this one's heat. They got old girl from Squid Games in this. Anyways, so in OMG, basically all the girls are in a psych ward, and the doctor's like, "What's going on?" And they all believe there's something that they're not. So in in Ditto, Hayden, which is the girl that has very cat-like features, she was like, "I'm a cat." So when they're all four standing there, she's looking at her like, "What?" But in the other video, they're all talking, and somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, Hayden, you're a cat," and she's like, "I'm not a cat." And then in this video, she's like, "I'm a cat." And then Hani says, "I'm a phone," and phones are very, you know, they're like they give. She's like, "I'll listen to you, I'll talk to you, I'll sing to you, I'll do whatever you want, I'll deliver messages. I'm like basically at your beck and call." And then that's why she had the whole intro, and they're all looking at her like, okay. And then the youngest, Hien, she was a fairy tale character. She's like, "I'm a princess." That's why she was going through all those fairy tales. She was Cinderella. She was on the train going home at 12 o'clock. And then Danielle was like her prince. Prince. And you know, there's different story tales in the book that they opened that have like kind of tragic ending. Not tragic, but they're like kind of the same premise. And she's like, in her mind, she's like, I'm a Disney princess. Like, that's who I am. And then you have Minji. She's the doctor. But what's the gag is, I gotta go back, she's crazy too, because they're like, obviously you're not a doctor. Oh wow. Oh brother. Anyways, what the?
I'd press it twice.
They knew I was coming back.
Why'd you full screen just to do that?
Anyways, in one scene, dang, I don't know where it is. So she, in the beginning, is like, "I'm a doctor, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm being so for real," right? They're all seem very delusional. Danielle is the only one, like, she's the one at the end who goes up to them and is like, "Aren't we recording? Like, I'm confused." And at the end, she's like, "Don't y'all remember who we are? We're New Jeans." Like, and that's why it has that whole little montage. And at the end, she's the one to be like, "Okay, guys, back to work. Like, let's go to our psych wards." But she's like very confused. She doesn't believe the girls, and she's the one that pops up behind all of them and takes them to like the little, you know, what's called the little bus, if you will. Where is the other scene? This part, it's her talking to herself. Like, so let's go to the little bus. In one part, and they're all looking at her like, "Girl, you crazy too?" Like, but there's one shot and you have to pay really close attention to it, wherever it is. Oh, it was literally there. I'm so sick. There is actually 2 of her. This is her and this is her. Never caught that one day, and it creeped me out when I found out. But anyways, 2 of her. And so it's like a split personality thing where she's like, I am not that version of me. I am a helpful person. I'm a doctor. I'm whatever. And so, like I said, Danielle is the only one like, y'all, we're new jeans. Why aren't you locking in? And so this is like the alternate version of the last video. Ditto's like the outside perspective of looking at a group. And this is like being in a group or a certain image that people are like, you are this, or you are this. And so you start adapting to what they tell you are. And so you start daydreaming like, oh, I'm a princess, or I'm someone who's versatile and I can do this, this, and that for you, like a phone. Or, you know, I don't know why she said she was a cat. I think it just alluded to her looking like a cat. Actually, yeah, that's literally it. People say she has cat-like features, so her animal is the cat. And so she's like, I'm a cat. And they're like, no, you aren't. And then Minji's like, I'm a helpful person. I'm the leader. I'm a doctor. That's what I do. And then Danielle's like, no, we're new jeans. And so sometimes it's like you get so lost and wrapped up in being an idol and being what everyone tells you are that like it kind of drives you insane. And so they're like, I'm going crazy, right? And in the end, Danielle's like, hey, y'all, you know who we are. But, you know, they don't lock out of that idea. And I really do think they would have continued to flesh out the story had things not gone the way they've gone. I mean, they dropped more music after this, but...
You know how I could tell you're a fan?
Because I know the lore.
No, because we got to the point of the video. You just explained a lot more than what we got from just seeing it. It's like, yeah, that's kind of like the lore. Like, it kind of, like, just like the show of the video is like, I'm a phone. It's like, that's why I said it kind of feels sad, because it feels like they have control over their music video. Because it feels like they're saying, yeah, I mean, it could just be their ploy, but either way, it's like, dang, we don't know when we got to turn off. Like we don't know if we're going crazy. Like, I'm not this, I'm that. I'm this, I'm that. You know.
And what's scary is they almost snapped out of it though. But at the end, when you're watching Hype Boy and you're like, wait, why am I watching Hype Boy? Or not Hype Boy. You're watching Attention again, and then it's the same scene from Attention, but then she stops and looks at the camera and she's like, okay, let's stop. And you're like, whoa. Now I'm scared. How'd they film that? How'd they film that? Because this is like a year apart at this point. Like they dropped this a year later. So it's like, how did they film that? Anyways, yeah. And then at the end, when someone's typing like, I'm uncomfortable with this music video, anyone else uncomfortable with like the stuff in this music video, I think they should just dance and sing.
That feels like a self-insert for the woman trying to defend herself from the allegations.
People were like, I don't think that was the right message you should have put at the end. And then at the end, it's Minji being like, let's log off. And that was basically Minheejin putting her like little thoughts on people having comments on. Pretty sure that was people having comments on Cookie specifically.
I peeped that. That felt very self-insert.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's what people think.
Yeah.
They think Minheejin inserts herself into New Jeans as if, because there's this one time she wore a shirt and she was included in it. Like it was like their little characters. But she like had a character herself because they have a brand deal with Powerpuff Girls. Mm-hmm. That's how big they got. They had their own personalized Powerpuff Girls.
And it's disappeared.
Literally. But she would insert herself a lot, and so people are like, "Oh, she must think she's New Jeans," and she like coddled these girls, and now they think like she's the only one that can help them. And they turned on New Jeans so fast. They're like, man, these girls are such brats. And, you know, I'm glad they're gone because that's what they deserve. They should have never said this, this, and that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, these girls are little.
Propaganda train.
They're literally little girls.
Even though they're little, like all their music was like, even if it wasn't them producing it, like all their music and their music videos were top notch. That's literally stuff you haven't seen in years. Like, I guess some people do like a little bit of cool stuff. You got a little like, unless. I doubt they spent millions on these videos. Probably spent a lot for, the background dancers. But, like, the concepts themselves, they're really cheap. You see most of these music videos, and, like, they spend millions on a music video. And it's like, that's what you did with it?
Same stuff that you see in every other K-pop music video.
Yeah, it's
like that dang motorcycle scene.
This is crazy. Like,
and they still have more heat. Let's go ahead and exit.